Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be doing a power tier list. Now, I'm not going to lie, I have not used every single character on these lists. Basically, any of them like halfway up A and up, I have used. Anything below that, realistically, I have not used that much. So I went to other channels such as Aaron Arrow, Spiteful. I've also looked at Death Smashers, and I kind of was like, okay, so they're kind of around here, but realistically, you're probably never going to use them unless you absolutely love the character, or they somehow get an amazing resurrection down the road. So without further ado, let's just hop right on in. So we're going to be ranking off of like overall usability, like their DPS, how many things can they be using, because like a unit only used in one mode, such as Brave Battles, which I have a PvP tier list. There's not that many good power characters that I can really think of off the top of my head. The only good three, in my opinion, are these three. Jugrim is still really good if you have a max transcended. I found a few of them, and he can definitely still come back. But as you can see, like, I'm not going to rank them anywhere else. They're meant for PvP. I'll get into it as I go, but obviously I'm ranking them. This is a PvE tier list, and then I just have those three there because they're like the main power PvP units, and they're only in PvP, so it's not that hard to just rank them. Going forward, let me know like months from now, because I'll do a power or a tier list later on. Would you guys like all of the attributes in one video? Would you like it separate so that way it's a bit more easier to break down? Or would you like just a top 10? I've seen multiple tier lists like that. Let me know. And then I can also do a PvP tier list overall if you guys want. It's kind of obvious considering if you just look at all the top teams, you're like, oh, okay, so that's probably the best character in the game. But alright. Anyways, if you guys enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's just hop right on in. So at SS, realistically, the only one that is ranked in terms of like tiers is the top one. Like, this can be whatever. This honestly is probably right, to be honest. I think that's pretty well ranked. And then this is just like whatever, and then all these units just kind of suck. And then we have good links down here. Alright, let's go over the SS tier now. For obvious reasons, Yamamoto is realistically the number one. Also, we will rank these characters after. These three right here are basically brand new, and then she's getting a resurrection, so I'll be adding them in right after this. Yamamoto, Soul Reaper Captain affiliation. He has a Quincy and Hollow Killer. He has a strong attack recharge time minus 12%. And then his skills are, he has a Berserker plus 40%, Bombardment plus 1, allowing his Soul Bomb to hit 8 times, I believe is what Bombardment plus 1 is. I could be wrong, but I believe Bombardment plus 1 is 8 times. So his Soul Bomb just absolutely nukes. But now we have units like White, where he has Bombardment plus 2, which is absolutely insane. And then he also has damage to burning enemies and weakening, which he has that in all of his attacks. He has burning and weakening in all of his attacks, including his Soul Bomb, absolutely insane. Debilitator plus 5 seconds. He has Frenzy plus 1, which is starting to fall off now, as you can see, with his like his Vortex DPS. He does have the best Vortex in the game, but in my opinion, I think the Ichigo's is better, and we'll come back to that. He has Marauder, and then he also has Shared Complete Status Immunity plus 100%, and then the Status Ailment Spiritual Pressure Boost plus 80%. And then he has Weakened Defense. The only downside is the low Frenzy. In my opinion, I think Frenzy 1 is definitely falling off, as you can see, compared to other characters. And then obviously he has no increase in status ailment chance, so if he doesn't proc a strong or a debuff on characters like in IT, his damage is somewhat lacking unless he's like 5/5. Either way though, he is still the best character in the entire game up until 8th anniversary Ichigo, except for when he uses his Soul Bomb and Guild Quest. He is still the number one character for that. Imagine if he had Bombardment plus 2, oh my lord, that would be insane. And now moving on to probably the second place tier character in my opinion for power, Zaraki Kampachi. He is a Soul Reaper Captain affiliation, and he has Soul Reaper Killer, strong attack recharge minus 12%. He has Ailment Reversal. He has weakening on all of his attacks, including his Soul Bomb, very good. He has Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 2, Havoc plus 20%, Marauder, and then melee damage plus 10%, plus 30% in co-op quests. So I didn't actually know that. I've never actually seen that ability, to be honest. 30% extra damage and melee damage in co-op quests. That's kind of insane. And then he has Poise. So really, really solid unit overall, especially in guild quests. He is a very, very good side character. I wouldn't say he's a really great nuker. He doesn't really have anything to add into his nuke, but with his Frenzy plus 2, his strong attacks hit double the amount, so therefore he can sync up really, really well Alright, and now we are on to Nelliel. Realistically, the only thing I wish that this unit got was either remove the super tech link slot potions and then give her the spiritual pressure boost, or go all in and take something out like the damage to weakened enemies plus 40%, to be honest, and then give her regular pots. But she has an insane kit. Like, she actually has some really cracked skills. I'll have to take out hidden enemy chances plus 100% and put in regular link slot potions, and she would have been fine. I don't care about droplets. Droplets are super easy to farm. You can just use links for those. Let's hop right on in. She's in a Rankar affiliation. She is a no affiliation killer. She has strong attack recharge minus 12%. She has a weakening in all of her skills, including her soul bomb. She has complete status immunity, which is insane. Damage to weakening enemies plus 40%. Debilitated plus 5 seconds. Devastation plus 40%. Frenzy plus 2. Havoc plus 20%. Hit enemy chance 100%. Increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies plus 10%. So that's kind of what Yamamoto needed, in my opinion, just to like make it more consistent to clear content like that, especially with his crawling vortex, or just his vortex. Is it a tracking vortex? I don't know exactly which one he has. She has Marauder and then super technique link slot potions plus 5. It's so annoying that they're only giving one to character. But realistically, the only thing I feel like I won't like on this character is the SA2. It's not a vortex, which is kind of what I wish it would be for a farming character. It would just be much better, especially because she has a frenzy plus 2. She has increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies, so she would basically always be proccing a debuff against an enemy, which would be really, really nice. But unfortunately, she did not get. And now, the most questionable one, in my opinion, is the Mayuri. Realistically, all he is here for is guild quest purposes. So he is a Soul Reaper Captain affiliation. He is a Rankar killer, so he's going to be used in a Rankar week. But he has a Berserker plus 40%. He has Bombardment plus 1. Complete status immunity plus 100%, which is really nice in guild quests. So that way, like, if you are, I guess if you're nuking, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're a bit of a slower like team, you don't really want to get affected by weakening. That would absolutely ruin your entire run. He has damage to paralyzed enemies plus 40%. Damage to poison enemies plus 40%. Debilitated plus 5 seconds, devastation plus 40%, only a frenzy plus 1, which is unfortunate. So he's basically just like Yamamoto, but just kind of worse, because he doesn't have weakened defense compared to him well, he doesn't have it on his skills. He doesn't have weakened defense on his skills. He just has paralyze and poison. I think poison is probably one of the like worst skills in the game. Every time a character gets poisoned, they just kind of suck. Like Geen, there's a lot of backlash for him as well. Unironically, they were both on the same banner. So other than just use his soul bomb and guild purposes, he's kind of like this. You could definitely just throw him down to S, to be honest, if you really wanted to, 100%. All right, now we have Nemu. Did they? Okay, they did update it. So now after her resurrection, she is a Soul Reaper affiliation with a Hollow Killer. Yep. She has strong attack recharge minus 12% and damage to not affected by an ailment plus 16%. So basically, it's kind of like Pure Silent Skin. If you don't have a debuff on people, you do more damage, and she has no debuff, so that's really good for her. She has Berserker plus 30%, Bruiser plus 20%. She has damage inflicted at low stamina plus 40%. Really odd choice, to be honest. I'm pretty sure that was already there though, but it's like, why such an odd choice? She has Devastation plus 40%, Freeze Duration minus 100%, Frenzy plus 1, Havoc plus 20%, Long Reach plus 20%, and Sprinter plus 2. I don't really like her skills, just from like looking at them. They're like the punching ones, so I feel like their skills are just gonna have really mediocre range. So I feel like I'll put her up in A. I don't imagine she would be anywhere near S tier. Obviously, this is pre-resurrection of me actually trying her out. I believe I have her, so I can test her out when she actually drops, which I definitely will, along with Toshiro and the Mayuri. I believe I have all of them, so I can definitely test them out. So, yeah. Alright, and now along with Riruka. Alright, so Riruka, going off the bat, her R is amazing, instantly SS turn. I'm joking. But she is a human affiliation and a human killer. Quite odd, to be honest, considering there's not many enemies with human that I can really think of. But if you do have killer, that's a bonus. But honestly, she does such good damage already, in my opinion, that I think she should be fine. And she has one of the best kits for autoing, to be honest, because she has drain on all of her skills besides her SA3, but it is a heal skill, and then her special move has a revive mechanic, which is very, very nice. She has her link as damage inflicted at full stamina plus 30%, which is really good with her drain skills and her healing and her recovery. She has Berserker plus 40%, Debilitator plus 2 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 1. Obviously, Frenzy plus 2 would be better, but we digress. She has Guard Break, which is nice, to be honest. I hate when enemies have guard and you can't break it. It's pretty annoying. Havoc plus 20%, Sprinter plus 1, which honestly I feel like should just be taken out, and then you just give her IT slots plus 5, link slots plus 5, but it's fine. And then she also has a skill of Strong Attack Recharge minus 12% built into her kit, which is insane. So when she resurrects in like 4 years, imagine the link that she get. Imagine she gets full stam and then strong attack damage or some other weird status element thing that we kind of get, or not status element, some sort of debuff, some sort of DPS buff. And then obviously she has the technique link slots potions plus 10, one of the, I believe the first character to get that, which is absolutely insane, especially for a character I genuinely enjoy. So realistically, I'm going to put her up in S tier. I think she is the best potion farmer in the entire game. Not IT potion farmer. For IT potions, I want to say it's... So yeah, I mean, I guess realistically the best IT pop character for power is Nelliel. She's also an insane DPS, but the best link slot potion farmer would be Riruka. Crazy that we don't have both of them in one, to be honest. I would love to have a very broken character like Nelliel or Riruka to be able to farm both of those activities. But it is what it is. And now for the final one, we have Ichigo. In my opinion, I think he is the #1 power character in the entire game. Alright, so hopping into Ichigo's kit. Also, sorry I took so long to get to this. Very unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. So he is a Soul Reaper affiliation. He has Hollow and no affiliation killer. And his link is Strong Attack Recharge time minus 14%, and then on all of his skills, he has Weakening and Drain, which is insane. One of the best kits in the entire game in terms of strong attacks. His SA1 is a bit too, like, it's a bit underwhelming compared to the Yamamoto's, which I will 100% give that to Yamamoto for obvious reasons. The 3000 length beam is just absolutely divine. But this one is still not bad. It's definitely not the Power Starks that we got earlier this year. My good god, that SA sucks. But Ichigo is just a bit slow. I believe it has like collision, so it like pushes them back and it doesn't just like hit them. You know, just doesn't like straight on hit them and then just like not push them down. Ichigo's just like kind of like pushes them back in a wave. That's really the only downside that I can feel when I use him. But he still usually one-shots if you apply a debuff, which he realistically should almost all the time. So if you hop into his skills, he has damage inflicted at full stamina plus 20%, which he can keep usually pretty much all the time because he has drain. And then he also has debilitator plus 5 seconds, so that way you keep debuffs on enemies. And then he has devastation plus 60%, frenzy plus 3, so he is hitting 4, 8... Is it 8? I don't remember the exact math. I don't... Because I think it's double and then plus 2. Is that how it is? So it would be 6 times, I think. I don't remember. Either way, his essays hit incredibly hard. They hit like multiple times, so his vortex can hit like 110 or something combos just off that. It's insane. His havoc is plus 20%. He has hit hidden enemy chance plus 100%. Increased status element chance against technique attribute enemies plus 10%. He has poise break except brave battles and co-op apparently. Apparently it does not work in co-op. It's mainly just going to be used for limit breaker quests. That's the name of it. Duh. And then he has shared complete status immunity plus 100%, which is insane. And then he has sharpshooter. So an absolutely amazing kit. If you build them right, I saw Aaron Arrow the first week he dropped that 1 out of 5 auto IT. The hardest thing in the entire game, to be honest, besides like autoing an epic raid. I think that's probably more harder. And then like the hardest GQ in the game, trying to solo it is kind of hard if you try to auto it. Obviously it's probably impossible, but yeah, either way, hardest content in the game that you farm is autoable by him. I don't believe you can do that with Yamamoto at 1 out of 5. Maybe with Killer you probably could, but either way, that is still absolutely insane. Now let's go on to Bruno. Bruno is basically just a Guild Quest character at this point. He's just kind of like a side. I believe he can still nuke the... So he has Soul Reaper and a Rancard. killer, so he could probably still nuke the Arrancar week, to be honest, because he still has, but probably both, to be honest. He has Bombardment plus 1, Berserker plus 40%, Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Frenzy plus 1, Havoc plus 20%, hit enemy chances, whatever, Poise, he has Sharpshooter, he has weakening all of his skills as well, including his Soul Bomb, so it's still a really, really strong kit, especially if you have a bunch of good sides to kind of boost him up. He can probably easily nuke through if you have him 5 out of 5 with the 500 SP boost. And then we're going on to Soifon. She's a really, really, really good side character. I use her in quite a few guild quests or just farming purposes in general, and quite a few Senkaimon as well. In Senkaimon, she goes crazy if she has a singular boost, but she is a Soul Reaper captain affiliation. She is a no affiliation killer, and her link is normal attack damage plus 20%. She has team party recovery. She has Team Party Power Attribute Captain Normal Attack Damage plus 20%. She has a Berserker plus 30%, Bruiser plus 40%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Enhancer plus 20 seconds. So she's a really good Guild Quest character. I believe she only has the 33% attack, focus, and defense buff, but she also gives you a shield. So it's really nice to stay at full stamina with those characters. Usually I use it whenever I'm using like my Daddy Ichigo, because he always gets hit and obliterated because he's only 1 out of 5. He isn't built that well. And with the fortification build, he always has like 10 HP and that's about it. So sometimes I use him with her or just any shield character. Then she has Flurry plus 1. She has Multi-Barrier plus 2. That's where she gets the shield because of her SA2. Then she has Poise and Strong Attack Recharge minus 12%. She has Paralyze and Poison on all of her attacks except for her SA2, which obviously is the booster. And yeah, I don't really mind her other skills because they're just kind of like useless because she's a NAD character anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. They're just kind of extra bonuses. Wish she was weak in defense obviously instead of poison, but it's fine. So overall I think she's a really good character, nothing to complain about. Another character on this list is the Okiura Segunda Etapa Resurrection. Really good Guild Quest character. That's really the only value he has. I'm not really going to go over his kit because that's basically all he is used for. I kind of want to speed up this video, but you get the point. Basically just a Guild Quest side unit for the it looks like it's the captain week. Is he melee? Range. He's a ranged captain. Okay, so he's a ranged character, so really nice. Probably aside for when we get Unohana, and when we have Unohana, but when we can showcase Unohana, I would assume. Mine is 4 out of 5, I believe, so that's really nice. Now moving on to the Yoruichi Christmas version of 2022. Really good, like, booster. Like, she has a boost SA2, so she's pretty good, and if you bring her to epic raids, or farming potions or anything, she's pretty good. She has a booster, she can make your team do more damage. But unfortunately, that's about it. She doesn't have the best kit, unfortunately. I really wish she did, but she just doesn't. She's kind of just a support. Really not bad though. Not bad at all. And then we have Yumachika. I don't like playing with him. His range is really bad. I don't like his strong attacks, but on paper he looked good, like in terms of his skills. But other than that, I just didn't really care for him. And then we have Kensei. I believe he is the hardest hitting red potion character besides the new Riruka. So if you want to give him a try, he'd probably be better actually than her, but I put her a bit higher just because of Guild Quest, but it's whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. Saruchi, another red potion character. She's good if you use all around cards, I believe. So if you have a full lobby of Saruchis, pop off, or actually Nelliels now, I guess, if you're going for IT. Or let me just double check. She's only regular link slot potions, so you do not want to bring her in IT. And then we have Rukia. She's basically just a really good side character for Guild Quest. She is the Arrancar Espada week. She has Berserker plus 6%. Is that the highest Berserker value I've seen? I swear it is, to be honest. Bruiser plus 20%, damage to frozen enemies plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation plus 40%, Frenzy plus 1, Havoc plus 20%. She also has Recovery of 20% stamina and Sprinter plus 1 with a freeze on all of her attacks. She's definitely she's pretty outdated, to be honest, but she's not bad if you do have her duped out. That's why she's still up here. And then we have 5th and Ichigo. He's just a really hard hitter, but he is obviously getting outdated in terms of skills and DPS, but he's still good if you have him built. Then we have Nozomi. She's yet again just another link slot farmer, basically, if you don't have any others. And I also believe she is premium pool, so she's really good. Alright, and then we have Spirits Are Forever with Kisuke. He looks really cool, to be honest. He actually does look really cool. No iconic hat, though. Where's his hat? He is a Soul Reaper affiliation with Soul Reaper Killer, which is kind of funny. His link is Strong Attack Recharge Time minus 12%. He has Paralysis and Last Ray on all of his skills, including Soul Bomb. Pretty nice. Berserker plus 40%, Bruiser plus 20%, Debilitator plus 5 seconds, Devastation plus 40%. He also has Frenzy plus 1, making his essays, his strong attacks hit more times than regular. He has Guard Break, Havoc plus 20%, Recover 20% stamina. Weird ability. But then he also has the status and pressure boost of 80%. Pretty good, pretty good. And then basically everything other than that is just kind of like whatever. If you want to build them, you can. I wouldn't recommend anything in B tier, to be honest. Like I don't think I've used any of these characters a singular time, if I'm being honest, outside of Go or Senkaimon. Good links, obviously, just level 200 them. You don't have to invest too much into them. But Momo, she's basically just carry me. She just sits in the back and just shoots a little pew pew gun, and you get carried, and you get IT pots for carrying her. Riruka, she feels horrible to play. She's just a NAD unit. She's a pot unit. It's whatever. I think he might be the better of them in terms of pot units, but there's so many, it's like whatever. Also, I have her twice. I knew it. I was like, I'm probably gonna have multiple characters because they just have so many duplicates. Dordoni, he's just a guild class character. That's why he's down here. But the reason Mayuri is up here is because he's a nuker, not a side character. That's why I put him so high up, because he's a really good nuker. If you do get him, he's worth investing into if you care about GQ. Rangaku, just a solid character overall, and that's realistically all you can say about any of these characters down here. Just looking up for any standouts, to be honest. Why is this Renji so high? I guess like he could be bottom of A tier. It's nothing too crazy, to be honest. Nothing really stands out to me from what I can tell. Yet again, remember, I haven't used every single one of these characters. I was looking at their kits when I was putting them in a list, and I was looking at other people's lists, so I haven't actually tested them. If you guys have tested them and they can excel or just do really well at low dupes, let me know. So let me know down below, what is a character that I just highly overlooked or anything like that. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. I would love to improve these tier lists as we move on, especially as they add new characters in the game. I'm highly criticize the list. I want to get better at these so I can provide you with more information. And yeah, hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day. Take care and peace out.